that Matt Stafford, the big domino in this year's quarterback market is Matt Stafford. So I am going to propose something. I'm just proposing it. But I made a couple of calls yesterday, a couple of texts this morning. I'm going to propose something. Yesterday I was talking to a longtime NFL exec, and he said this is not crazy, okay? The Rams like Matt Stafford, but they're tiring of the constant quarterback talk. His wife saying things publicly. They're not real happy with Cooper Kupp. Going public was something they tried to keep quiet. They're kind of over Cooper Kupp, and with that, a little bit Matt Stafford. They like him, but they don't want to restructure his deal and give him a big contract. Meanwhile, the Giants do not like the quarterback class, and Brian Daboll, the head coach, and Joe Shane, the GM, have got to win or they'll be fired by Thanksgiving. Okay, they're going to get run out of the building because if they don't have a quarterback, Washington now is big time. Philadelphia will steamroll them. The Packers, the Bears, the Rams, NFC's getting better, and the Giants have some good players. So they are going to make a move, I believe, on Matt Stafford. And the first person to talk about this on the air was J-Mac. I'm going to give him credit on this. He was like 5 days ago. So what the Rams want, I'm told, they want the Giants' first-round pick at number 3. So they probably want a first, a second, a first, a third, but you got to pay Stafford. If you're the Giants, you have to give him a new deal. They'll probably get a first and a fourth, but let's just talk about that number 3 pick. The Rams want that number 3 pick in the draft, because they're drafting way later. They want to take that pick, move down, and get more picks. Why? So they have extra picks for next year when they have to move up to get a quarterback. So what the Rams will be in the market for if Matt Stafford moves is a 1 to 2 year rental at quarterback. Aaron Rodgers. Hear me out. Aaron needs a rehab. Packers got better without him. His image, big advertisers, not interested. Jets was a mess. He needs a rehab. Got a house in Malibu. West Coast guy. By the way, in a division with Geno Smith, Kyler Murray, Brock Purdy, Aaron Rodgers' last 10 games last year, he was good. He was actually, and remember, that was with a third-tier coaching staff. Now he gets McVay, an established O-line, an excellent young defense. Remember, Matt LaFleur's brother is the OC with Sean McVay. Well, he's been in that system before. So Aaron knows the system with the Rams.
Yeah. There's a lot to unpack here. You know, first and foremost, I want to ask Los Angeles Rams fans if they even want this. You know, do you want Aaron Rodgers? To be clear, I think Aaron Rodgers could definitely win with the Rams. But if the Giants give their 3rd pick in the draft for Matthew Stafford, I don't even know what to say to that, honestly. Again, I think you could definitely win games with Matthew Stafford as well. Do I think that the New York Giants will find a way for it? I mean, like, that would be a steal. And I would understand exactly what the Rams are looking to do if they do that, because it's a kind of like this 2 year window of moving down. You know, you're kind of like rebuilding because you already have a lot of really, really, really nice pieces. But you could also do some damage with Matthew Stafford still as well. And if you're saying like, oh, you're tired because of Matthew Stafford's wife, and I mean, I don't know, man. Like, that's a weird storyline to me. Like, I get it if you're just trying to hit the reset button and you're trying to rebuild something. And I don't mean like rebuild in the traditional sense like what we usually mean, but like, you know, just kind of just start building something of new, right? Rebuild versus starting to build something anew. It feels a little bit differently. You know, rebuild is like if you're here and now you got to go down here. Starting something from new is kind of like, oh, we're moving on and now we're going to take this path. To me, that's kind of where the Rams could be. I mean, the Rams want to find their 23, 24-year-old quarterback at this point, 22. You know, they want this new path. They don't want to kind of keep playing this game right now. Which, again, on one side, I get, especially when you look at the age of some of their, you know, key pieces in their roster. But if you're going to do that, I don't know why you then bring Aaron Rodgers in. I guess like that's where I'm a little confused. Because you're right, you can win a bunch of games then. But like you're not going to be a Super Bowl contender with Aaron. I mean, maybe I suppose, but feels unlikely. Mainly because I don't know what Aaron Rodgers is looking to achieve. Is he willing to actually be coached by Sean McVay? If he's willing to actually be coached by Sean McVay and just be the quarterback, then yeah, I think they could actually legitimately win and do some damage. If he's looking to be Aaron Rodgers, bro, I'm Aaron Rodgers, then no. And I don't know why you would then want to deal with that nonsense, especially if you are Sean McVay and the Los Angeles Rams that will be looking to build something special. You don't need to take a 1 or 2 year Aaron Rodgers detour. Not to mention, you're not talking about a bunch of young guys that are still very influential from more seasoned veterans like an Aaron Rodgers. And now you even get the chance of some of this toxicity of Aaron Rodgers being kind of just dispersed throughout your team. And I don't think that's worth it. And that's a real thing. It's a real thing that can happen. Which is why someone like a Tom Brady comes and you're like, well, listen, this guy's going to like drop some knowledge on these young guys. You know, he's going to show you, you know, the work ethic of a legend. He's going to show you the preparation. He's going to have all the great sound bites. He's going to have the nice little stories of the time that he was with Bill Belichick looking at film and Bill said that, you know, like all of those little things are really valuable. Aaron Rodgers isn't going to bring that. Aaron Rodgers is going to talk about everything else but that. And those things matter. It does matter from a cultural perspective. And culture matters. Culture absolutely 1000% matters. Absolutely. And so that's why the real question is then, well, like, what are you getting out of Aaron Rodgers? Is Aaron Rodgers going to, you know, say little things like, Sean McVay doesn't really know what he's doing here. That's a dumb play. I don't know why McVay is calling that play right now. Like, you know, is he going to say like little things like that in the huddle? You know, is he going to be undermining Sean McVay and what McVay's building there? Is he willing to change? Is he willing to adapt? Is he willing to be what he needs to be to win? Like, those are actually legitimate questions. And last offseason, I defended Aaron Rodgers hard. I'm not prepared to do that this offseason. So if we were looking at Aaron Rodgers strictly off of just his talent, his ability to play football in the year 2025, yes, I think him and Sean McVay could do a lot of good. I honestly do genuinely believe that. It's all the other stuff that I would be concerned about. And considering what the Rams are looking to do, I'm just like, I don't know. And that's where then it also is interesting. It's just like, well, how cheap would be a Sam Darnold? I mean, like, this is where you would be better off if you're the Rams, if you then look for, and I don't know if all these guys are necessarily as available as they were in years past, but like a Sam Darnold, you know, from last season, the Gardner Minshew, like those types of quarterbacks, the Kenny Pickett's, the Justin Fields, the Russell Wilsons. In a lot of ways, those quarterbacks come with less baggage, even the Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson fell in line very quickly with the Rams, with the Steelers. And it's like Aaron Rodgers is still, you know, still holds a lot of weight, but in the wrong direction. That's kind of the issue. And yeah, so I don't know, honestly, but I get it too because you have enough really, really great players on that Rams team. And think about it, you're a play away from making the NFC Championship game. You truly were. You were a play away from making the NFC Championship game. And then who knows? You're going up against the Commanders. Who knows? And then obviously we saw what the Eagles did to the Rams or to the Chiefs. So I just don't know. I just don't know. The problem also with talking to Aaron Rodgers is you could have a conversation with him and he could say all the right things, and then it just like goes in the opposite direction. So I don't know, man. I would be leery of this move. I would tell Stafford, man, we want to keep you, but like we're not paying you more money. But like I don't even know if you should even want to move on from Stafford. And you might the play might be like, yeah, we would want another quarterback in 2 years from now. But honestly, with a couple key changes this offseason, like and keeping Stafford, like we can do some damage as well. Like they're in a weird situation, the Rams, honestly, which is why I'm kind of struggling to figure out like even what direction I would be confident in them going in. Outside of really guaranteeing that you're really going to be able to find your quarterback, 2 drafts from now, who you're like, like your Caleb, Jaden, JJ, like someone who you really have. Again, doesn't mean that all those quarterbacks are going to hit, but like, you just have like true optimism, Bo Nix, where you're like, okay, we got a great 5-year runway now of figuring this out. I don't know. It's easier said than done. And I can't tell if it's a big swing or conservative. I can't tell if that's a big swing moving on from Stafford, or if the big swing would be keeping Stafford, double downing on what you have right now, and trying to now, take it to that next level. Because the year before, you're a play away from beating the Lions. This year you're a play away from beating the Eagles. Like you've been a play away from beating top teams in the NFL. Like you're right there. So, I don't know. I honestly have to think about this more. The only thing that I am really confident about is I would not love all the other stuff that comes with Aaron Rodgers. And at that point, I don't know if it's worth it. And if you're still trying to win games, and that's why you want Aaron over someone else, well, then at that point, just keep Stafford. Because you're saying you're tired of some of the Stafford nonsense that comes with Stafford, but then you're not going to be tired of some of the nonsense that comes with Aaron Rodgers. That doesn't make any sense. That you know what I mean? Like that just I don't know. Weird to me. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Eagles, man? I'm all over the place. The Rams potentially moving on from Matthew Stafford and going after Aaron Rodgers. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way. Let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.